Welcome back. Today I'm taking a look at a pretty cool tactical thrower that you can pick up right now for under 55 bucks. It's the C8L from Ass Flashlights. Let's check it out. Alright, so this is everything that came in the box. Here is a 2100 to 18650 battery adapter, a USB Type A to Type C charging cable. In this bag here, there's a lanyard and some spare O-rings. You'll notice there's no user manual. That's because you have to scan the side of the box here, and this will take you to a website right through your mobile device, and that's your owner's manual. And yes, it does come with the 21700 battery that's inside of the flashlight here, but let me put everything off to the side and give you guys a nice close-up of the C8L here from Ass Flashlights. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. Alright, so the C8L has a maximum lumen output of 3100 and has a maximum throw of 531 meters. It also has an intensity of 70,500 candela. And pushing out those 3100 lumens is a single Cree XHP50D LED. It features 5 lighting modes and 3 special modes, a beacon, a strobe, and SOS. And everything is controlled through 2 switches, a tail switch and a side switch. It also features 2 different modes, a regular mode and a tactical mode. As I already mentioned, it does ship with a 21700. It's a 5000 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt lithium ion rechargeable 21700 that you can charge through the external USB Type-C port on the outside of the flashlight, or it can be slot charged. It has an impact resistance of 1 meter and has an IP rating of X8. The X means the dust proofing wasn't tested, and the 8 means it's submersible in up to 6 feet of water. Alright, so what about the dimensions? It has a length of 6.14 inches and has a head diameter of 1.83 inches. And according to my weight test, it comes in at 8.5 ounces. That's 240 grams, and yes, I did weigh it with the battery in it. Alright, let's talk about the lumens and runtime here. I'll throw up a graph up on the screen. You can see Eco is 8 lumens, low is 100, medium is 500, high is 1300 lumens, and turbo is at 3100 lumens. So I always like to see a 1 lumen moonlight mode, but in a flashlight like this that's considered a tactical flashlight, I really don't think it's necessary, so that 8 lumens is just fine. And I do like the mode spacing here from 8 to 100 to 500 to 1300 and 3100. I think that mode spacing is pretty decent. And you can see the maximum runtime there is 220 hours, but that's in that 8 lumen eco mode. But of course, what I'm concerned with is that 1.75 hour runtime on turbo there. I don't see an asterisk there either, so I'm pretty curious if that's an accurate 1.75 hours or if that's the total with all the step downs. Of course, like I do in all of my videos, I'll be testing out turbo in about a 2-minute time span just to see if it does step down within those 2 minutes, and usually it does. So stick around for that test. I'll have that coming up in a little bit. Let's go over the 3 special modes here. Strobe is the full 3100 lumens. That's pretty good. Beacon is also the full 3100, but SOS is only 500. You think you'd want your SOS to be that full 3100 lumens, especially you're only using SOS for emergency purposes only. So I'd want that the 3100 lumens, but hey, what are you going to do? So this is my first time checking out any lights from Ass Flashlights. I'm going to try to use the word ass very sparingly in this video, even though that's the name of their company here. So the C8L, it's a pretty interesting light, especially at under 55 bucks. So I would put that in the budget category here, but it doesn't feel like a budget light to me at all. I think the build quality and construction here feels very nice. It feels very high quality. It's made of 6061 aluminum, has a hard anodized finish, but it's not all one piece. It actually breaks up into 3 different pieces. So here's the tail cap there, and then the middle shaft piece, and then the head portion right there. And now this gives me an opportunity to show you those double springs right there for the battery, which is always appreciated, especially for a tactical flashlight. And this is the battery it comes with. It's a Sofern 21700 5000 milliamp hour 3.7 volt battery. Always, of course, inserted back with the positive towards the head of the flashlight, but I'm sure you guys already know that. Putting this back together, I'll give you a look right down the barrel here at that single Cree XHP50D LED right there, and it does sit back pretty far within that reflector. So that's going to have a lot to do with the 531 meter throw. And then while I'm at the head, I'll give you guys a nice look at that striking bezel. Pretty decent, not very aggressive, it's not sharp, but I don't know, it's about a 1/4 inch deep here from the lens to the very top of that bezel. So that's a pretty nice bezel here. Like I said, not aggressive, but appreciated. And now let's take a closer look at this tail cap here. So you can see it does have the lanyard holes right here, a single lanyard hole right there, and then 2 lanyard holes on the other side. And then there's a single tail switch back here with the rubberized cap on it. You would think you can tail stand this just based on how these how the tail cap kind of comes together right here. It is flat, but this tail switch, it sticks out just far enough where it's stopping you from tail standing it, as you can see, which is a huge negative in my book. Regardless if it's an EDC flashlight or a tactical flashlight, I always want to be able to tail stand my flashlights. And yes, this is a double switch flashlight, so the tail switch here, and then the side switch right here, which mainly controls the modes, wire and regular mode. And right dead center of that side switch is a battery life indicator, so it will stay on. I'm turning it on right here in momentary. You can see does light up green. That means I'm at 100%. And that light does go out after about 5 seconds of having it on constantly. And there it is. So I do like the fact that it has a battery life indicator right there in the side switch. So let's talk about the UI here. So it does have a pretty simplistic UI, sort of. In regular mode is basically what you expect. You want to activate the flashlight just by either half pressing that tail switch right there for momentary on, and then a full press for constant on. And then if you want to cycle through the modes, just give the side switch a short press there. So eco, low, medium, and high. Now while it's on in regular mode, if you triple click that side switch, it will take you to strobe. Man, that's intense. And then to switch between those special modes, just double click. That should be the SOS, and then double click again, and there's beacon. And then just single press one more time to get back to your last no mode. And yes, it does have a memory, so there's low, turn it off, turn it back on, it goes right back to low. Nice. Now you can activate turbo through the tail switch right here in regular mode if you half press twice really quick, and there's your turbo. So half press again real fast, turbo, 3100 lumens. And you can see that beam profile on my desk there. It looks like a cool white beam. That looks about, I would say, above 5600, maybe 6000 Kelvin is my best guess. So the modes in regular mode are pretty self-explanatory, very simple to use. Now, how do you get to tactical mode? What you want to do is make sure it's on, and then press and hold down that side switch for about 5 seconds. Right there, it'll flash, and now we're in tactical mode. So what's different in tactical mode? Well, now the side switch only cycles between medium and turbo. Just medium and turbo. It's a simplified UI, as you can see. And now the tail switch, if you press it once, it takes you instantly to turbo, and if you double press it, it takes you to strobe. So turbo, strobe, and then medium and turbo through the side switch. So it's a very simplified UI, which it should in a tactical mode. I just want strobe and turbo. They can even get rid of that medium, in my opinion. And then to get back, hold down that side switch for about 5 seconds, and now we're back in regular mode. So nothing too special or complicated. If you guys are used to these type of flashlights, especially dual switches like this, I think you'll feel right at home here with this UI. All right, so now it's time for my scientific, not so scientific heat and turbo test here. I'm gonna let this run for about 2 minutes on turbo. It's already in tactical mode, so all I have to do is hit that tail switch. I have a fancy new timer right here that'll time 2 minutes, and then after each minute, I'm gonna take its temperature at the head and the body, write it down here, let you guys know what the temperature is, and hopefully in those 2 minutes I can see a step down from turbo. Usually I can't see it with the naked eye. I can usually see it in my edit, or I will put it on the screen at the end of this test. So let me see if I can do this at the same time. Wake up and go. All right, there's our 2 minutes right there. I didn't really see a step down. I'm not really sure within those 2 minutes. So holding it in my hands, it's definitely hot, but I can still manage it without gloves. And let's see, after 1 minute at the head was 98 degrees, and at the body was 91.5 degrees. But after 2 minutes at the head, it went to 107.7 degrees. And then at the body, after 2 minutes, was 96.8 degrees. So completely manageable after 2 minutes on turbo. And once again, just watching it here, I didn't really see a step down. So if there was, it was very gradual. I'd be really surprised if there was no step down within 2 minutes, especially at 3100 lumens. But I will put that on the screen when I'm checking my edit right now, and just to see if there was one or not. All right, guys, much better of a night out tonight. A little bit cooler, no mosquitoes. I like it. So let's start out in eco mode here. So where's that switch? There's eco mode. Now let's go to low. And like always, I'll put up a distance between here and those back trees right there. But right now you can barely see those back trees, even in low. So medium, starting to kiss those trees back there. Wow, very nice. Check out that hot spot right there. Very nice. So you can already tell it's a fairly floody beam, as you can see by that outer edge right there, but it's not crazy. It's not as floody as some of the lights that I demonstrate out here, but still a very nice clean outer edge there. Look how nice and clean that outer edge looks of that beam. Very nice beam profile so far. And I was right. It's right around, I would say about 6,000 Kelvin color temperature is my guess. It's definitely a cool white beam. And there's high. And point that straight up in the air so you can see that beam. So I'll put up a distance, like I said, from here, and let me walk to the next location here. So high is probably where you're gonna spend 90% of your time in this flashlight anyways at night. I know people wanna use that turbo all the time, but realistically, probably not gonna happen, especially with the shortened turbo time, just because of heat and the internal parts of these flashlights. So you can look right down there, check that out, very nice. And now what I'm gonna do is, now that I'm here, is just put it on turbo. All right, there's turbo. Wow. See right down that little path right there. Oh, wow. Lights up this park without a problem. You can see the path I just came down here. Had a bug just fly in my face. Fantastic. So turbo, 3100 lumens, 531 meters of throw. Very, very impressive here. So let's run through these again. Let me turn it back on. I just gotta flip it around. That's the one problem with the two switches, one-handed. All right, eco, low, medium, high, and then flip it around. Turbo. All right, guys. I'm gonna go to my next location here. All right, so let's start out in high here. I'll put up the distance once again from here to there. Now, the net right there, hitting it very nicely in high. Then that second and third net down there, definitely see them, even on high. Okay, so let's go right to turbo. Yeah, very nice. Guys, I'm liking the beam profile here. I like the semi-flood light that we have here with that outer perimeter, and that spot. That hot spot there is very, very decent. And remember, like I keep saying, this is 55 bucks. I know it says, I think, $66 or $69 on the website, but right now you can pick this up for 55 bucks. So this is a nice budget option for a tactical flashlight. I mean, look at that. Hitting those nets without a problem. And that far net right there, that's pretty far away. You can see, actually, there's three nets there. They keep adding nets to this field. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that far one. If you can see it on the screen right there. I'll put up the distance there. Man, very nice, guys. So let's head back inside. So as you saw on that beam test here, the beam profile here is decent. I like it. Very nice hot spot where you get that 531 meters. Even the flood the perimeter of that profile was still pretty decent where I can see basically everything that I needed to. So overall, I am a fan of this flashlight. I generally don't like two switches, the tail and the side switch, as you saw out there in my beam test. You have to turn it on and then flip around and switch through the modes, and then if I want turbo I have to go back here and double click. If it was in tactical mode that wouldn't really be an issue, but in regular mode, kind of a pain in the butt. I like the fact that you can use a 21700 or with the adapter use an 18650. It ships with this adapter, so that's nice. I do like that you can charge this with the USB Type-C port on the outside, or you can take the battery out and slot charge it. Also, I don't like the fact that you can't tail stand this. That's a big negative for me. That is a big factor with me deciding on what flashlight I'm going to take, either hiking, camping, or just as an everyday carry flashlight. If it doesn't have a switch like this on the back, a cap where you can tail stand it, I might have to think twice about grabbing this over something else. Also, it doesn't come with a pocket clip or a holster. I know this is about 55 bucks right now on their website, so the price is down for a reason. But if you're looking to carry this in your pocket with a clip, or if you want to slap this in a holster, you're going to have to supply your own. But other than those negatives, I think this is a very decent option for a tactical / everyday carry flashlight. 3100 lumens, 531 meters, over 70,000 candela at under 55 bucks. I mean, can't really go wrong here. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the C8L from Bright Ass Flashlights? Now if you want to pick one up for yourself, well, we'll put links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!